3, 2, 1, and we're back, guys, for a new episode.
Yo.
And today we're going to be doing something a lot different to what we usually talk about, which is
so a new trend recently, especially for the Asians. It's a low key sort of trend for the Asians. Some might say it's subtle.
If you didn't know what we're getting at, it's subtle Asian traits.
Yeah,
subtle Asian traits.
Subtle Asian traits episode. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the group. Is it a group? I don't know if it's a group.
It's a group.
It's a group. So
why don't you tell us what it is, Toby?
I have no idea what it is.
You haven't. Well,
I'm in it, but I don't care about it.
Jeremy, do you know what it is?
Like, I actually don't like it.
It's a group essentially sharing Asian, I guess, experiences.
Like
that
childhood
stuff, mainly childhood stuff,
trauma,
like related to our parents in particular, or like what Asian people generally do.
They're all Asian inside jokes.
Yeah.
If you're not Asian, it'd be pretty hard to get.
Like, you wouldn't get it.
But
the
thing is, it's also very Asian dominant. I mean, there's a few Chinese in there, but like, it's very Vietnamese. Did I say Asian dominant?
Yeah.
It's very Vietnamese dominant.
Because this is a more like local Asian...
I don't know, man. I think it's very like Chinese dominant.
Okay. All right, we'll find out today.
But maybe that's just because I'm seeing what I know.
Yeah,
right?
We'll find out today, guys.
Because I'm seeing a lot of Vietnamese stuff too.
I see Vietnamese.
But I think it's I think it's a lot of the Australian-born Chinese, Vietnamese.
Yeah.
All the Australian-born Asians are more in this group.
Yeah.
All right. So let's
dive into the rabbit hole. Let's go. All right. So we're on the Facebook.
When you Chinese but only know how. What does that say?
Tommy, you can't read that, can you? No. All right, never mind.
I'm gonna guess what it says.
Tommy, you liked it.
I liked it, it basically means like I can't speak Chinese.
中国人.
What the hell was that?
That just means Chinese person.
Okay.
So that post when you
a second generation
when
Asian.
you're Chinese but you only know how to say that. I honestly don't even know how to say it. I can't even read that.
But what does it mean?
It just means I can't
speak
Chinese. I don't understand Chinese.
Okay. Yeah.
What's Chinese?
I think it's 我不明白中文.
Oh, my ears. Actually, that's really nice.
That's how I probably fucking butchered that.
We should practice our Mandarin. I feel like it would be very helpful.
It's Mandarin.
A lot of people are asking on their resumes, like, can you speak Mandarin these days? So I think...
Just say that. This guy is on it.
But look at that. Like, how big is this...
what's the member count? Yeah, what's the member count?
82k.
82k.
And I think it's only like a week old, right?
My notifications keep popping off, man.
Yeah.
It is going.
My goodness. All right, let's
you can see live comments coming out.
And oh my god, like these all of these posts just like blow up.
Yeah.
I see things from like an hour old and they have like 1k likes already.
Yeah.
What does that say?
When you know a Kevin Tran or two, look at how many of you guys are on this page. I can relate. You know, it's not just Kevin Tran. It's probably like something Vincent Nguyen's or like Tony Nguyen. There's heaps of Tony Nguyen's.
Nguyen's not how you say it though.
Wing.
Wing.
Yeah, my last name is Jeremy Wing.
Jeremy Wing. Winning.
Yes.
Okay. What's a common Chinese last name?
Chan.
Lee.
Lai.
I don't know.
Chen.
You.
I don't know.
Why you?
Yeah, I don't know if that's that common.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Like Chow or like Zhao.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just go Lee. Yeah, who's that? Ian Lee. When you're 20 plus, but you still need permission to go out.
That's true. I know a lot of friends with a curfew around 8 p.m.
Do you?
8 p.m.
At my age too.
8 p.m. Man.
That's crazy.
Man.
Surely you don't.
Sorry?
Surely you don't.
Me?
Yeah.
No. I think my parents have given up on me. I mean, the day that I think I was just too rebellious growing up.
Yeah,
so they just let me go. I still get a lecture every now and then, but...
Do you actually?
Yeah, they're like... I think because my parents just want me to have dinner at home and stuff, which is understandable.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
So we're going out later.
Sorry, mum and dad.
Sorry, sorry, auntie, uncle.
Sorry, auntie.
Oh man, how about those Asian gatherings though?
What about him?
Meeting all your relatives.
Uncle
and
one,
we're
uncle
like,
two.
Yeah.
You're trying to remember all the names, like
Nah,
yeah.
just number him. Just number him.
It's like, what are you doing now? It's like, stuff.
What do you tell him?
I just say, they look at my pink hair. They're just like, "Did you drop out?" I'm like, nah,
I'm
just
still
still
at
doing
school."
uni.
Yeah, like tattoos and dyeing your hair, especially if you're a male.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff
Wild.
is seen as rebellious and wild.
Are you Korean?
I think even like for Vietnamese people dyeing hair, like whatever your gender, right?
Yeah.
That's like a no go.
Pull out the stick.
Yeah, like I had an earring 2 years ago.
Whoa!
I didn't know
this
this.
guy.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Jeremy.
And then my mom gave me so much shit.
Oh man!
And like,
do
she's like,
do you still have trauma?
sorry?
Do you still have trauma?
Nah, it's not like I've heard like I got a mate whose dad ripped his earring off as soon as he saw
No
the
fucking way.
and I was like, damn man,
That's
damn,
that's
son.
not
That's
right.
brutal, man.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
It is brutal, man.
Aye.
What the
Aye.
fuck?
That's what like my biggest fear with earrings and stuff is just
Someone
getting caught.
getting
Yeah,
lashed,
yeah,
getting
yeah.
lashed, and it's just,
and then I just like, shivers down my spine. Every time I think about it, like there's Beyonce, there's hoops.
Yeah.
There's someone just like there's girls that are
They're
like,
just so like you're like prone to like them ripping out.
yeah, man.
but you look bougie as though. So
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess
I love
so.
the aesthetic, but it personally not for me.
yeah, no. of course.
It's in terms of wearing it on myself.
Yeah, and like
Imagine Jeremy with hoops.
but like a lot of girls like do that every day. Like
Yeah.
they live dangerously like that. You know?
Do you like to live dangerously?
Yeah, I wear hoops.
But when girls like bigger hoops, bigger the sass. I feel like once
Yeah,
they put
okay.
my friends, once they put the hoops on, they're like, oh yeah, like they got this
Oh,
attitude,
yeah.
Like damn girl.
All of a sudden they're like R&B and shit.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Where'd you
I'm
come
like,
from?
chill, girl. It's just the hoops.
It's just the hoops talking. It's not you.
That's
Yeah,
funny. Okay.
Let's move
Let's
on.
have a look. What else is
What do
there?
we got? So we got where?
Where are you from? Melbourne. No, where are you really from?
Yeah, I get that. I get
That look, yeah.
typical question.
Like obviously, if you get asked that, you already know what they mean.
Yeah.
But if you say that you're from Melbourne, like I kind of feel like if you already know what they mean, like why don't you just tell them the answer?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, I think
it doesn't come from a bad place. I feel like it's just ignorance.
Yeah.
I think it's more online when you actually haven't met a person,
Oh.
and it's like I think you're either asking where you live or where are you from, like
I don't
because
know.
I know because like I get asked a lot. It's like, oh, where you from? Like, oh, whereabouts are you? I think whereabouts are you is like more direct. But
Yeah.
A lot of people get really defensive, like when
Yeah.
someone just,
Yeah.
they might not know much.
You're
But
trying to
like,
assume
There's
something.
like just like in America, like here, there's like guys that just never seen an Asian before,
yeah,
and once they see an Asian, obviously they're gonna ask a question like
Yeah.
that. And not like they're being mean to you. It's just like I'm born in Melbourne, but my ethnicity is Vietnamese or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be anything more than that.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that your answer? Generally?
Yeah, generally,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
I'm like, at the same time, you want to educate as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, just be nice about it. Like, if they're being nice to you, that's fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they're being real snarky, like being an asshole.
But where are you
Yeah,
really
well,
from?
Yeah.
Whoa, what was that? Oh, my ears.
Where are you really from?
I feel like that's a My Channel video. That's a community channel video. That's like a
Yeah.
Nigga Higa video.
Yeah.
I always say like, oh, I was born and raised in Melbourne. My parents were from Vietnam, and then
Vietnam.
yeah, that's it.
I
But,
come from Vietnam, don't know.
wow.
I saw that. Like I think it was like a
Wow.
post where like no matter like what ethnicity you are, like everyone knows Doma.
Oh yeah, everyone
That's
does.
a universal.
Yeah.
That's what Vietnamese people recognize.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Out of all the things.
It's like, are you Viet? It's like, nah, I just know it.
Yeah.
Just it.
And
That's
then
it.
once I say I'm Vietnamese, like, oh no man, I'm like, oh, what the hell, man? Especially when it's coming from like a white guy or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Bruh.
I'm like, bro, I'm like, dude, that's what.
Bruh, you're asking for it now.
Yeah.
Mad guy.
Okay.
Uh,
All right, let's move on.
all right, what do we? We don't have to go like one by one. By the way.
Drowning in Bondi.
Being this is similar. Being bombarded, but with "Can you speak Chinese?"
Yeah.
at work, only to disappoint them by saying, "Nah, I speak Vietnamese."
Oh yeah, feels bad.
Yeah.
Do you get sure? You do. All right.
People ask if I can speak Chinese.
okay.
I say like, I don't know what Chinese. I say like random Chinese words, but then I'm like, no, I don't speak Chinese.
Yeah.
This guy, what a joker.
I'm just like, what's that? Shama.
Okay.
Oh,
It just means what?
what? Yeah. I don't know. I just like to practice my broken Chinese for my Chinese friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I do disappoint them. Saying
I see from like obviously a different perspective as like let's just say Chinese is the majority of Asians, right? And I'm Chinese, so when I get asked this, obviously my answer is gonna be different.
Yeah.
I just say, oh, I speak Cantonese.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
considering like Chinese is the nationality, not the language.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, people from Hong Kong are, very patriotic about being the.
In that
fact
case, I'd say I'd say like it actually depends how they ask the question, right?
Yeah.
If they ask me, oh, like what are you or like where are you from, I'd say like I'm Chinese. But then sometimes like if they ask me, oh, like where are your parents from, then I'd say, oh, my parents are from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But obviously, but there are some people like who want to make it very clear they're not Chinese. They're like from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's like you're basically the same people.
Ethnically, yes, you are,
like
yeah.
not even you. We're the same people, bro.
Yeah. Like Taiwanese as well. That's also.
Yeah, they really like to distinguish themselves from mainland China.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of stigma with like all regions, but there's a lot of politics behind it as well, which
Yeah.
I honestly don't want to get into.
Yeah, no, it's a very heavy topic.
Oh yeah.
I've been reading up a lot about Chinese politics lately, and I'm just like,
Oh.
it's sometimes when I talk about it, it just gets so heated,
Yeah.
and sometimes it ends up being like, what do you know about the state of our country? It's like, yeah, I don't. Honestly, yes, I don't know. To a degree where I am an authority, but this is what I've consumed, this is what I've seen. And
Yeah.
some things I do take with a grain of salt, but it's interesting to see other people's opinions, and it's a heavy topic because, oh damn, this is going to lead into the conversation.
alright.
But let's take it back a notch.
Paraphrase.
But it's like, one subtle Asian trait is that all Asians hate each other.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
I think at a political level, yes.
Especially for our parents. They're always hating on other Asians. They're always hating on Asians, like them on themselves. Like Vietnamese people, like the South versus the North.
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of stuff like
I've heard about that.
Yeah, like Chinese people as well. Like Hong Kong people aren't like
Yeah,
Mainlanders
yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like we just love to hate on each
Yeah.
other, man. If
funny.
we're slightly different, it's always something to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also funny at the same time too.
Actually, that's really interesting. Like the way you're describing the hate, you were talking about like Vietnam, like Hong Kong, China, right?
Yeah.
The way I first imagined it in my head when you said it was like the historical
country versus country.
country versus country, like,
yeah.
and I also saw somewhere recently, how, can I talk about it? I think I will. Just cause, right?
It's alright, man.
Korean people, like belittling Filipino people and saying how like, I think there was a guest on like Korean variety show, and he was just like, he had bigger eyes, he had darker skin, and then I think obviously like they didn't have bad intentions, the Korean, like the host or whatever, but they had a go at him. He was like, oh, like you look like you have like a Filipino look, and like I think it was something it wasn't those words, but it was something along the lines where like it was a little bit like I don't know how to say it, like
Well,
it had like it was taken in a harmful way to a lot of Filipino people who were watching that show, and that sparked like such like
I know. I get you now.
When he said, "Oh, you have a wait," so was this
I don't know what exactly he said,
In Korea.
But I know that the reaction of the Filipino community in Australia, in the Philippines, in Filipino in Korea, they were
Outraged.
Yeah,
because of the
like,
stereotyping.
Yeah, because a lot of people like well, let's just say like a lot of people look up to like Korean Asians, right?
Yeah.
And then for a Korean group or like community or like a person just to immediately look down on Filipinos like that, like
Wait, in the context that he was saying it, the tone of voice, was it like you know, like how we see each other? Oh yeah, you look Korean. Was it like that, or like, oh you have this and this?
your nose looks broken.
I think it was it's because it was a.
Shut up.
If you guys can't see anything right now, if you listen to the podcast, Jeremy's got a little bit injury on his nose.
There's a video out there somewhere with the blooper.
But
continue.
because the show was a variety show, it's a family show.
Yeah.
Everything they spoke about was in like a lighthearted way. Like there could have even been like a laugh track there as well, right?
Yeah.
And but
I think a laugh track would have made it worse.
well, as in like that was the that's the feeling of the show.
Yeah.
And it was just seen in like a negative light to the Filipino community.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Damn. But like, to be honest, living in this day and age, it's so hard. It's so easy to offend people.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it might be lighthearted, but you always got to be watching what you say these days.
100%.
And
do.
you know, that could be a bad thing. That could be a good thing. Personally, I'm like, you know, I just have to be on my toes. And I would
Don't let it slip out.
No, but like honestly, I would rather. I think, you know, if we take offense to these lighthearted things too much, I feel like we become more racist than anything else.
Okay. Yep.
Because I know, because I feel like when someone wasn't thinking that way, and then now you think, you know, you're pushing an idea onto that, it makes it further perpetuates
the racist idea. Yeah, I get that.
So I know,
but that's the thing.
I'm trying
with
to tread lightly here.
I know, but that's the
Try to
thing with
tread
it.
lightly.
You can't ignore it.
Yeah.
But you have to ignore it.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard life.
All right, let's get to something more. Let's get back on to something less touchy.
Okay.
Scroll down a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a Sydney reference. Drowning in Bondi. Oh no, but we can kind of get that.
I don't get it.
And it's a fobs.
Oh, okay.
It's a fob thing.
It's a pop reference.
Oh wait, yes, I know.
Bondi Rescue. Every episode is a Chinese person.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I get it now. Let's go to the
Amanda. Only to realize that Asian parental relationship is actually not very healthy as you grow older, because they always threaten to either kill you or themselves, or use emotional blackmail on conflicts and confrontations.
Oh, that was deep.
It was, there's some there's truths to that.
For you?
No, just
in general, yeah, I get it
general,
too. Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
For me, like, I took it pretty, like, I kind of grew out of it. Like, I was like, oh, that's sad.
It's
Stuff
just what-
like it.
yeah, it's
But
just what they say.
they really, it's just how they were raised. Like,
Yeah.
my grandparents were way more harsh than to my parents and my parents to me.
Yeah.
I kind of had to put myself in their shoes to understand what they're going through,
Yeah.
why they acted the way they did. And I feel like in every generation down, we're just a diluted version of our parents, even though we can't. Sometimes we vow ourselves, I never want to be like my parents. There's always going to be some
Of course.
some hints of it.
Yeah.
Down
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah. You guys got any thoughts on that?
No, I think
For me, like, I think my parents are, well, they're not traditional Asian parents.
Oh, okay.
My parents are really chill.
Huh.
They're really open-minded, and the only death threats I received were lighthearted.
Okay.
it wasn't actually like, I think as serious as the post is trying to make it sound. Like my parents would have said it in a lighthearted way, but I understand like not all parents are like that. Yeah.
But there are a lot of, from what I've heard, like there are some really excessive.
And I think they only say that in a lighthearted way because they would have heard it from their parents. Actually, now that I think about it, it's like, like they heard it, they said it, but they twisted it in a way that's like they didn't actually mean it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe, I can't speak for all of us, but maybe like when I want to teach my kids something, I'm just gonna completely not say that. Like it's gonna dilute through like two generations, and like it's gonna go.
Yeah, it will take its time for this traditional Asian way of parenting to kind of be transformed into something else. It will take.
Do you think
time.
You'll be like your typical Asian parent when you parent, if you parent?
Nah, I'm look at me. I'm already.
For me, what I take from my
You can't dye your hair.
He's gonna get his kids to get earrings, you know.
Oh yeah. No, he's gonna pull them out for him.
Because our parents didn't know any better. Like my parents are refugees. They came from the war.
Yeah.
They barely could feed themselves.
Yeah.
Like my mum, like she's told me a lot of amazing stories these past few weeks. Talking to her, getting to know her. She had to steal from her own parents' crops back in Vietnam, the bananas and jackfruit, and to sell so that they could get money to feed themselves. So, and there was like one time where they could only share a bowl of jare, which is like this sweet soup.
Yep.
Between like 5 people, this small bowl. So like for me to expect them to be this open, like super, like, oh, you can do whatever you want, you know, live your life as how you want it, is wrong.
That's unrealistic.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
And I think we shouldn't be putting these expectations on someone that grew up the way that they did.
Yeah.
You're right.
And love your parents, guys. Like they like, I honestly, like from I respect my parents to deal with how I grew up, because to give you an idea, I had a leash growing up.
Oh fuck!
Because I was batshit crazy. I was a stubborn little prick. I love eating cake.
Some things never change.
And to deal with that, I'm like, damn, respect.
Yeah, that's cool.
But love your parents, guys.
Absolutely,
everyone does.
Love your mum and dad.
But if they're really abusive, all right, that's another story. Okay, let's continue on.
All right. I think we have picture. Oh, is it a video now? What the?
Mum, there's a spider. Takes off spider slipper. I'm a bit dyslexic.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Okay.
You know.
Oh,
yeah, classic. She gonna do it.
What a trooper.
Yep.
Bang, smack.
Typical. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's
I remember whenever my dad like had to kill a spider in the house, he'd always like do like a little prayer after he killed it.
Really?
Okay. Wow.
He'd be like, I don't know what he's saying.
Wait, is your...
My dad's Buddhist.
Oh, Buddhist. Okay.
It's like
Makes
Sols,
sense.
bro.
Yeah, it's like very like, oh no.
Sols, bro.
My parents are really Buddhist, but they really don't care. I'm like, oh god.
So it was either a slipper or like roll up some newspaper, like getting ready.
But newspaper, it always like kind of bends around the spider somehow. It's like, what the fuck happened there?
But similarly, like if you pee on a tree,
What the?
someone told me you have to pray to the tree or something.
I don't know,
because you're peeing on the spirit.
Oh.
Because there's a spirit in the tree.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't know. That's something. That was when I was drunk one time and was pissing in an alleyway, and someone told me that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, when I was that drunk, I was like, after I finished up, I'm like, oh, maybe I should put a little.
Yeah, but that's not a tree though. It's an alleyway.
It's like the next thing you see, like, hey, why are you pissing on me?
No, next thing is like the plants sprouting out.
Yeah. Well, and then it's like got this punching, like this hand, like, hey.
Okay, so we're gonna have to.
All right, so we're back to looking on Asian
subtle Asian traits.
Let me quickly clap in.
Cool. So what do we got next?
So
Scroll
we
down,
passed the
scroll down.
spiders, and we got parents asking you if you said hello to guests when you just said
Oh
hello.
my
Oh
god.
All
yeah,
the
that's so
time.
real. That's so
Yeah.
real.
All the
Asian
time.
gatherings, you know, it's like, oh, did you say hello? It's like,
Yes, I just did.
that's why I'm sitting down.
Do you guys still bow when you greet?
Lightly,
Yeah, I-
lightly,
yeah,
It's like a little-
lightly.
I give like that 30-degree.
30 degrees.
Dude, I
Wait,
used to do-
wait, sorry. Oh no, I give
I
like
used to do full 90.
I give like the 80. I give like
Yeah.
the, oh wait, what is man my ankle?
This is 10.
10, yeah, I give the
10.
10. 30, then when you say 30 it's like
30 is like this. 30 is like almost your 45.
okay, I give like the
Yeah.
20. I give like a 20-degree.
For me, like
Angles, Asian things.
sometimes I'm bowing to my friends
Oh, what the
instinctually. Like some, I forget like they're just my mates, right? No,
I-
well, they deserve respect too, right?
I think I just naturally bow to someone
Yeah.
that I know is 100% definitely older
You
than
know,
me.
Yeah.
what I've noticed, I definitely bow is in Korean and Japanese restaurants.
Oh,
Yeah,
I 100% bow when I walk in
yeah.
and when I walk out.
It's respect, bro.
I just like
Respect.
my neck just.
Well, when you see in Korean dramas as well, like you see them bowing to like
Yeah.
just
Oh,
everyone. Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. Is like
Oh.
that's the reason why like I'm just
Respect.
instinctively bowing.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like I'm part of like that culture. When I step
Yeah.
into the restaurant, I'm like, oh, I gotta bow now.
Yeah, let's.
And then you see that white guy that just walks in and just like, I don't know anything.
I like the. Actually, I'm not sure if I really like the bow.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just something you do.
Yeah, it's almost like second nature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
It's just
sure.
like,
It is
oh,
now.
And it doesn't require that much effort.
No.
No.
It just happens.
Do you ever bow to your parents?
No.
How much respect do I have? How much respect?
I
do
hug
have?
my parents.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Would it be really weird if like you just went back home tonight, you saw your mum and dad, and like,
Bow
and you
to them?
bowed to them, like,
hey,
mum,
hey, hey.
You're like, what are you?
I think it's because of the fact that you see each other every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. Should we be bowing to our parents?
I think as the quick answer is no.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's similar to like Japanese culture when you come home, they say like "Tadaima," as in,
Tadaima.
I'm home.
Yeah, but maybe you bow like when you walk through the door.
Oh,
I feel like that's when you bow,
whoa.
but it's not when you see them.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Interesting conversation. Moving on.
That's a lot of comments for that, actually.
When you go out for a big family dinner and leave the lights on so you don't get robbed.
That's real. My parents are like that.
I don't do. No, my parents like turn off the lights to save money.
Yeah, I think that's on me. As
Nah,
well.
my parents are like, nah, switch them on so we make sure like, no one comes in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As like, especially
can't relate.
the lights in the front of the house are the most important.
Oh wait, are you talking about? Oh wait, you're talking about.
Indoor and outdoor lights.
Oh, you're talking about leaving the lights on in your house before you leave.
Before you leave.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you
so
meant like leaving from a restaurant. You leave the lights on at the restaurant. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh,
I don't-
no.
I don't get this.
Wait, so do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Oh, so
I leave the lights
so
on.
the house is empty. All the lights are on.
Yeah.
Not all the lights. But
Just the front lights.
The front window lights, not the actual porch light. 'cause
Oh.
people are like, why is your porch light on? But like,
Oh.
just like so the window looks lit and like people are like, oh, there's someone home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just like someone's at home. All right.
I
cool.
get it, but I never experienced that.
It's the same concept as like let's say like you leave shoes in front of like your apartment door or like your doormat or something just to show there could be someone there.
Oh, okay.
You leave your shoes
Shoes.
outside of
Yeah.
the apartment door.
What if they rack the shoes?
Yeah, yeah,
what if
I
you got
would-
some
I would-
expensive
I would-
chains?
I would
You have like
rack
let's say like
shoes.
you have like, or let's say
I would definitely
it's
rack shoes.
because I've
Yeah.
heard this right. It's a girls only apartment.
Yeah.
But outside they leave a guy's shoes there.
Okay. Yep.
Whoa.
Just like really dirty
Just
looking
some-
like
some
combat
beaters.
boots or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Just like some dirty
Timbs or
old
something.
Vans or
Yeah,
something.
like
Yeah.
something like that.
Ting.
Oh, okay.
Mad ting. All right, that's interesting.
Oh, awesome. The more you know.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Next one is. When you. Oh, no. What?
That's just, like, you
The
got- go-
scrolling
go-
thing's a
go
bit.
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Racism so common you don't realize it's wrong until you're 16. Oh, yeah. But I think it was just mainly ignorance. Like, I
Yeah,
did
it's
experience a
just-
little bit of racism in
Just-
school.
yeah.
Because I went to I was probably only the one of few Asians in the whole entire school in back when I was in primary school. And like I did maybe get the few ching chongs. And at that point I think as a kid I did understand that was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't talk like that.
But
Like,
but the fact that you're so young, you're like,
You let
even
it
that's why I was
pass.
like, it's like,
You let it
yeah,
pass.
That's funny, bro.
But it kind of also was tied into the fact that, you know, growing up in a predominantly white school, I wanted to be more white. So I brushed it off, thinking that was okay because I wanted to fit in. Because as a kid growing up, you always wanted to. It was easier to fit in the group, fit what the whole entire school thinks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking back, maybe there was a few racism, but it doesn't really bother me now.
How about you, Toby?
I had my own like Asian group, but they were like just Asian born Australians. So it's
Well,
like,
what's the like ratio to like from let's say like predominantly white to Asian in your let's say primary school or high school?
we had like the cliques, so like there was like about 1/7 international students, and then like the Asian born Australians were like 2/7.
Oh, okay. So you still made up only like 3 sevens.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Like 7. Yeah. Something like that. Like, but yeah, I think
So less than half is
Yeah.
what you're trying to say. Okay.
yeah, definitely less than half. But yeah, it wasn't. It was just like just us being like idiots, just having fun with it. Doesn't matter what anyone said,
Right.
unless it was like
Obviously that's still more than him.
unless it was intentional. Unless it was intentional racism,
Yeah.
then like that would be wrong. But
Oh,
like,
for sure.
for us, we knew it was wrong, but at the same time, it was like we knew it was a joke as well.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter.
Yeah, amongst my friends, we say a lot of racist stuff, but it's not. It's just in a joking.
Yeah, it's lighthearted.
Like we know that it's.
No. It's 2018, guys. It's 2018.
I know, like,
We don't need to do that.
I'm just being honest. Like it's amongst ourselves. Like we should crack a lot of Asian racist jokes, but it's just like we know when it's offense. Like when we mean it and when we don't.
Yeah.
And that's where we draw the line. But yeah, what about you, Tommy?
In my school,
Yeah.
my primary school was like 75% Asian.
Oh, okay.
My high school was like 50% Asian.
Oh.
Okay.
A lot of us were Asian. I grew
So-
up around Asians.
So did you
I've
cop
ne-
it though?
Like never.
Oh, okay. So everyone like had like that mutual respect with each
Yeah,
other.
because Asians were almost like
it was the norm. It was the norm.
They
Asians were
weren't the minority.
Yeah.
exactly. We were the majority.
Yeah.
White people and like
So did
brown
you-
people were the minority.
Was there like racism towards the white people though?
No,
Oh, okay. So it was
because in the greater society they're the majority.
just- okay, yeah.
My school, my year level
feel
when
like
I
you
was in
copped
high
it the
school.
most.
No, I was pretty neutral amongst everything.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of like lads versus Asians.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah,
Asians
yeah,
versus
yeah.
blogs. Like we had a lot of fights
Yeah.
in our school.
Oh, okay.
And like obviously the racist jokes came out.
Yeah.
You know, like there was a lot of ill
It's
intent.
just, yeah,
That wasn't good.
yeah.
But the funny thing was in the midst of that chaos, it bonded people together somehow. Like it,
If you're Asian, you're bonded.
no, or Asian.
Oh, you
no, but-
united everyone.
Is
No,
it,
no,
it's about
the-
Asian and Wog?
no, Asian wogs or
Yeah.
like some lads, some white folk got it wrong with some Asians. This is what I just experienced at school, and like, and because like you know they're like, oh, these boys like they fought each other and like they had
Yeah.
experience. It's like in a way a sense of camaraderie.
Okay.
They're like
I see that.
we've been
I see
through
that.
this battle and like now we can be like I've heard a lot of stories where like these guys used to hate each other but then they just became
Okay,
friends
yeah.
after on.
Do you know about the Cronulla riots?
Cronulla riots as in the Korean what
Cronulla in New South Wales, Sydney.
No.
is this with the Aborigines?
Do educate us.
This
Tommy.
this is whites versus Wogs.
Oh, please explain. I don't know much.
I think I don't know too much about it. I think it was like somewhere in like maybe like 1980s or 1990s. I don't know too much about it. But it was basically, I think they were fighting for the beach, and it was just like a whole
So that was the
like it got super violent on the streets. of Cronulla, and yeah, basically white versus woke.
Did you see the Australia Day ad?
What was it?
It was it was recent Australia Day ad where they tried to make it so multicultural that they included they tried to bring everyone in so it wasn't offensive to everyone.
Yeah.
But it did the opposite. Like they had the wogs and the whites, like that action in there.
Yeah.
Wait,
They had,
that advertisement,
for Australia Day with Sam carrying with the lamb and everything.
was that done in response to...
No, that's just trying to be inclusive, but it was taken poorly.
Yeah,
right.
dude, the whole thing was a bad thing. Like,
Oh, really? I didn't see it at all.
It was funny to me. Like as an advertising student, it was like, yeah, this is interesting advertising.
But they still do it till today. They're like,
yeah,
oh, we need to get a black guy for this.
yeah,
We need to
exactly.
get an Asian
like
guy for this. We need to get a
as
white
long as
guy
you
for
get
this.
it, yeah.
Actually, like I just looked up Cronulla riots. It was actually 2005. 2005.
So
Series of race riots and outbreaks of mob violence in Sydney, beginning of 11 December 2005, in the beachside suburb of Cronulla, which spread over the next few nights to additional suburbs.
there was some bad crime happening in Sydney that time. Like when I went to Sydney, I was living in Bankstown. And,
But that's a
Bankstown.
suburb where
Yeah.
there's a lot of that.
dude, there's guys that just shoot the police, and they're like that. Like they're down to do that. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, man. But it's something that you guys, we can't imagine that because I would.
Yeah, Melbourne's pretty tame.
Yeah.
Like fairly tame compared
I think,
to
especially, were you always on East Side?
yeah.
Especially people growing up East Side.
Yeah.
It was a lot different in the West.
Yeah.
Very
It's
different
like-
in the West.
Have you seen the post where it's like West Side versus East Side?
Yeah.
West Side's just like gangsters. East Side is like people studying in the library.
Yeah. what a G.
Yeah. All
Alright,
right, let's move on.
A few more for this episode.
Okay.
Oh, I like this one.
While white kids were out playing sports and having sleepovers, here's a kid crying
I think I did that.
because I relate to this so
I
much.
related to this so much.
This
Yeah, you go.
This is why I never passed first grade piano, because I was just every time I liked playing the piano really fast because I thought that was really skillful. Obviously, I wasn't mature enough to play the piano. I was like in year 1, year 2, and like every time I played the keys wrong, my mum would just like smack.
wow.
Oh.
And I was like,
Wait, we were talking
Damn.
about Asian parents like not abusing.
Nah, they're
Yeah.
abusive. Some, yeah.
I mean,
obviously, Jeremy's
I mean,
parents are
I
abusive.
know, but like they're. I think smacking your kid, what's it called? Capital punishment? No, not
Corporal.
corporal punishment.
Corporate.
Capital punishment when you that's when you
someone.
die.
No, that's when you die. Corporal punishment is normal. For a lot
Asians.
of what would we call second
generation?
second
Yeah.
generation kids. A lot of my friends got their ass beat hard.
Fair enough.
Like we sometimes bonded over getting our ass beat.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, this is why we have subtle Asian
this
traits.
is why it has
So
all
I
these
ju-
traits. Exactly.
Like, I remember there was this one meme, with it was inspired by Mortal Kombat, and it was this mum, and it's like Asian mum, like choose your weapon, and she was just like moving like this, and then the last one was
Nice.
Skate Guy, which is the broomstick.
Mad ting.
and I was like,
that's
oh
so
my
good.
god, I relate to that so hard. I was cracking the
When she
fuck up.
grabs the broomstick.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, bidong, mate. Like, oh, damn. It's
Oh.
What does that mean?
it means like you're gonna be punished.
It's almost
it-
like
Hey,
it's
we
almost
don't
like
know.
it's almost like a subtle like you're dead now.
You're dead. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Dead now.
yes.
Watch it.
And
Classic.
then they afterwards they prayed to the heavens like, why is my
Okay,
my
that
kid such
I
a
didn't
sketchy
get.
kid?
That I didn't get.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, that's good days, good times, good times.
The memes, the memories.
Yeah. What was your piano story?
Mine was piano and homework. I remember like it was just like I honestly like I didn't want to do it. I don't remember why. It's probably just because like it just wasn't something I wanted to do, and I was just like I was being yelled at by my mum, and like it's like a quiet night in like the summer, but she's yelling at me, and like I've got this homework in front of me, like, and I just start crying, and like I don't want to do it, but I do it while crying.
Poor Tommy.
And, like-
got the tears on the page. You give it to your teacher. It's like
yeah.
I was drinking water. I was drinking
Yeah,
water.
no, it was bad. I hated doing any kind of like Any like homework?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever do North Shore?
What
That's
is-
The tutoring.
extended education.
Oh, so like
after school.
Kumon and
Kumon and stuff like that.
Edukingdom and stuff like that.
I went to Saturday school,
Yeah.
but nothing after primary school. I did like sports and stuff after primary school.
Oh, okay.
My tutors was on Thursday, I think. And it was in Springvale.
Yeah.
4 hours each class.
A class runs for 4 hours.
Yeah, so maths 4 hours, English 4 hours.
Was this Jack's?
No, it was just at some house with like big. It was some
That
big.
sounds about right. At some house.
Some big Asian house and
At
like
the back, yeah?
yeah.
In the garage.
No, definitely not. It was
What?
it was in the house.
But it was packed full, right?
It was like a U shape of students.
I feel like there are a lot of
There are a
these
lot- oh, okay,
establishments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure if legal or not. Not sure if legal or not.
Cash in hand?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
It was my
you,
parents.
you don't pay by the term, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just 4 hours, and then like after the 4 hours, you have a 15-minute break, and then do the next 4 hours.
Yeah, that's.
Damn, 4 hours is a long time.
Wait,
Yeah.
after school?
That one was a Saturday. I did another
Oh,
tutoring
yeah.
on Thursday, and that was at Glenmaveley called Edukingdom.
Oh, I did Kingdom in
Yeah.
Box Hill.
That was okay, but that was pretty bad. Just like they give you the work and they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you guys get paid for?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Damn.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah.
The days. Alright.
And next one is, you know, an Asian restaurant is bad when there's more white people than Asians.
Can you name one right now? Box Hill.
Oh,
Dumpling Kingdom.
Dumpling Kingdom.
You know, in Station Street.
Is there a lot of white people there?
Yeah.
Really?
Dumpling Kingdom. There's a few other ones on Station Street, like DC and David and Cammy's, but Dumpling Kingdom is like
There's more white people than Asians.
it's just white
All
people.
right, let's think about. I want to start a little can of worms here. Bad service, good food. Do you think that's true?
Bad service.
Depends.
Like when you walk into a restaurant,
I get there's that.
when you walk into a restaurant and it's like janky as hell, and then like the food is on point, like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then,
kind of craving that right now.
but like compared to when you go to like a nice looking restaurant,
Yeah.
I'm excluding like yum chas here because they're kind of like normally look good anyway.
Yeah.
But like looking good modern restaurants, do you think they have better food or like compared to like the janky service, good food?
Sometimes bad service comes with bad food.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
Fair enough.
bad food, bad service. Like it's just some restaurants that just are there for.
But do you think I'm
something.
specifically talking about Asian restaurants?
I'm talking about
Yeah.
Asian restaurants.
But do you think that's just in Melbourne or like imagine you go to
Nah,
the
it's
actual-
global. It's got to be global.
Okay, cool. All right.
So, because like, let's just say, Chinese aren't the majority in like globally.
Okay.
And let's say they run a Chinese restaurant, right?
Maybe okay, probably not service, but aesthetics. Like it's poor aesthetics.
Oh,
Very poor.
yeah, because no,
But
no,
their
no
food is-
Chinese. Actually, let's look at it this way. People who own Chinese restaurants aren't chefs; they're business owners,
Yeah.
and they don't really care about
The quality of the food.
the quality and the experience. Chefs would want to have a say in that at least.
Yeah.
But a lot of people who are like refugees or migrants and they open a restaurant, they're just sharing what they know, but it's not really their profession. They just make it their profession. And that's why I talk to a lot of international students and I ask them, hey, like where's the best like Chinese food or like Indonesian food or
Yeah.
that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
And they say there aren't any. Because the people who open up them
Yeah.
up here are just business
They're
owners.
just trying to make a
Yeah.
living. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying like when you go over there, it's gonna be hella good.
100%.
So our concept of Chinese food here in Melbourne, when we think it's good, is probably
yeah,
not.
So we're gonna-
I thought it was good.
Oh,
I thought it was good.
like
I-
Rose,
yeah.
Rose Garden.
Rose Garden's good.
Yeah, I love Rose Garden.
Even though it's like trashy feel, it's like
Yeah.
I like it.
So does that mean like since I've never traveled aside from like Vietnam with the family as like
Yeah.
a young ass kid, so you think for me when I travel to like Japan and Korea, it's like I'm gonna blow my mind with the food.
Likely.
Oh jeez, I'm so
Wait, with those comments that your mainland friends have said, what do they refer? Like, what's common about their criticism of Chinese food here in Melbourne?
So like, what's the common like?
It
words?
doesn't taste authentic.
Oh.
Doesn't taste authentic.
I think there's like maybe there are some ingredients that are harder to find or more expensive here that make it difficult to like reproduce in a dish.
Yeah.
But I also think that like the people who are making them don't know that.
Okay.
And the people, because it always comes down to the people who are making them, I think. And if they have a say in the production of the food, then they can obviously control like the everything, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it doesn't taste authentic.
Oh.
But what about? I don't know. What do you think of the? Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Besides the the matter of authenticity, what about the taste?
The flavor.
Is like it might not be the authentic taste what they're used to. Is it because of the fact that they're used to it?
I think so. I think it's because they were born there and they're not used to it, and they don't like something that's trying to be something which it wasn't what they originally knew.
Because like for me, like with Vietnamese food, there's people that for like a lot of Westerners, like because they're not used to that palate, like for the fish sauce and like the different different ingredients, they automatically like dislike it because they're just not used to it. But I think once they grow into tasting those kind of foods, then they start to really enjoy it. So
and then you can't have anything without Nuoc Mam.
Exactly. Oh yeah, it's hard to eat Vietnamese food without Nuoc Mam. It's so essential.
I was thinking about this topic because like you know the restaurant we're talking about, right? Like that was
Chinga Biang Biang, shout outs.
The aesthetics of it is janky as it was so sketchy.
It could be better.
It's a stereotype these days to be like the danker, like the dirtier.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
The grimier the restaurant.
It's like you see a rat run down. It's like, I love this place already. It's gotta be good.
Like I think I was.
No, when you see the guy that just like.
Oh fuck! In the kitchen.
If I don't see two chefs outside squatting, smoking cigarettes,
you're right.
Or they're playing like Big Two. The shit's not authentic, man.
You see the chef just like, still cooking.
I love that.
That's seasoning, bro. That's flavor. Man.
Or like scratching his chin, and just like over the dish.
It's like tossing the wok, and all these beads of sweat just like flipping out.
You guys down for that later though?
100%.
If it's open, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Rose garden.
No. We're talking about Jiang Biang. Chiang Biang.
Is that still open?
Biang Cheng.
Do you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Is it open now?
Probably.
Surely.
Oh, the close at 11.
There you go.
Yep.
All right.
Mad thing.
Well, two more, and then we're done.
Alright, 2 more.
We got 2 minutes.
Oh, we got 2 minutes. I'll just what do you
Final thoughts. Let's just final thoughts. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to cut it short, but final thoughts.
Okay.
Final thoughts on being an Asian.
Great. I wouldn't want to be
anything else.
No, not to say I don't like them.
No, I'm proud. I'm definitely proud.
I love you.
I'm proud because, like, once again, like as I said, like a few podcasts ago, it's like I wouldn't be here right now with you guys if it wasn't for like how I grew up, you know. So and the things I've done. So like, I'm proud. I don't care. Like, I mean, I've done stupid stuff as an Asian, but like, I'm still proud. 100%.
I like being Asian.
Yeah. You get to see there's like heaps of different types of Asians.
Mad.
Each culture's different.
Especially when we're talking about being Asian in a predominantly white society. I love it.
Yeah. Food too. Like,
don't get.
It's just
that's another. We're already over this can of worms.
Because of the big massive differences in cultures and stuff like that. You get a variety of food, and I feel that's the cool thing about the Asian experience is that there's so many different things.
Not to say that people who aren't Asian can't experience it.
Yeah, no.
It's just I think it's a little bit more accessible. To someone who is Asian.
Yeah. All right.
That's done. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks again, guys, for tuning in to another episode of the Klickback.
Follow our socials.
Follow our socials, and see you next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace.
Woo! Yoked.
Let's eat.